What if I told you the most expensive painting in the world might be a fake? What if a single brushstroke could cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and nobody is sure if it was painted by Leonardo da Vinci or not? And what if the painting vanished right after being sold for nearly $500 million? In 2017, the art world witnessed a moment unlike any other. At a Christie's auction in New York, the hammer fell on a painting attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, and the price stunned the world. $450 million. Salvator Mundi, a painting of Christ holding a crystal orb, became the most expensive artwork ever sold. The buyer was later revealed to be a Saudi prince, bidding on behalf of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. But behind the record-breaking sale lies a dark secret. Questions about the painting's authenticity, the political motives behind the purchase, and the mysterious disappearance of the work itself have turned Salvator Mundi into more than just a painting. It is a symbol of money, power, and secrecy at the highest level. Today on Viral Facts, we uncover the hidden truth of Salvator Mundi, why it sold for nearly $500 million, and why the story of this painting is one of the most controversial in art history. The story begins around 1500, when Leonardo da Vinci painted Salvator Mundi, meaning savior of the world. At least, that is the claim. The painting shows Jesus Christ, one hand raised in blessing, the other holding a transparent orb representing the universe. Unlike many other religious works, the painting has a calm, almost mysterious quality. If it is truly by da Vinci, it would be one of fewer than 20 known works by the Renaissance master. But the history of Salvator Mundi is murky. For centuries, it vanished from records. It reappeared in 1900 heavily damaged and was sold for a small sum. In 1958, it was auctioned in London for only $60, considered a ruined copy of a da Vinci lost long ago. The painting was nearly forgotten until a group of art dealers purchased it in 2005 for just over $1,000. They believed it might be something more. The painting was restored, and experts debated its origins. Some said it was unquestionably by Leonardo da Vinci. Others said it was painted by his students, with only minor touches by the master himself. The controversy over authenticity has never been resolved. Yet, in 2011, the painting was unveiled at the National Gallery in London as a genuine Leonardo. From that moment, its value skyrocketed. By the time it reached Christie's auction in 2017, Salvator Mundi was not just a painting. It was a trophy, a global symbol of wealth and status. The bidding war was fierce, and when the final price of $450 million was announced, gasps filled the room. But why would a Saudi prince pay such a staggering amount for a painting whose authenticity is still questioned? The answer may lie in politics as much as in art. Saudi Arabia is a nation built on oil wealth, but it has also faced criticism for lacking cultural heritage in the global sense. Owning the world's most expensive painting was a way for Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to signal Saudi Arabia's arrival as a cultural power. It was not only about buying art, it was about prestige, soft power, and making a statement to the world. Yet, the dark secrets of Salvator Mundi go even deeper. Many art experts argue that the painting is not fully by Leonardo. They point to awkward details, such as the unnatural way Christ's hand is painted, or the strange depiction of the crystal orb. Some say it was heavily repainted during restoration, making it impossible to know how much of it is truly da Vinci. This has led to a disturbing question. Did Saudi Arabia pay $450 million not for a da Vinci masterpiece, but for a glorified copy? If true, the painting is not only the most expensive artwork ever sold, it may also be the most expensive mistake in art history. But here's where the mystery deepens. The painting was supposed to be displayed at the Louvre Abu Dhabi in 2018. The world expected to see it alongside the Mona Lisa in a grand exhibition. But then, without explanation, the unveiling was cancelled. The painting disappeared from public view. To this day, no one knows where Salvator Mundi is. Some say it hangs on Prince Mohammed's yacht, hidden from the world. Others claim it is locked in a vault in Saudi Arabia. A few even suggest it may never be shown again, because the controversy over its authenticity could embarrass its owners. This secrecy only fuels conspiracy theories. Some believe the Saudi purchase was not about art at all, but about politics. Around the same time, Saudi Arabia was strengthening ties with France and the United States. Buying Salvator Mundi from a Western auction house could have been a gesture of goodwill, a way of buying influence along with culture. Others suggest it was part of a rivalry with the United Arab Emirates, as Saudi Arabia wanted to assert itself as the true leader of culture in the Arab world. The economics of the sale are equally controversial. Before 2005, Salvator Mundi was worth almost nothing. A group of dealers restored it and gradually raised its value. By 2013, Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev bought it for $127 million. 4 years later, he sold it for $450 million. That profit of more than $300 million shows how the art market can inflate values through hype, connections, and secrecy. So ask yourself, was the painting really worth that much, or was it a financial game played by billionaires? Let us pause here and think about what makes art valuable. Is it beauty? Is it history? Or is it simply the price someone is willing to pay? Salvator Mundi may not even be fully by da Vinci, but because it was marketed as his, it reached a price no other artwork has ever touched. This reveals the darker truth of the art world. Value is not always about authenticity. Sometimes it is about narrative, politics, and power. Another dark secret is how the restoration changed the painting. Before 2005, Salvator Mundi looked broken, with heavy overpainting and damage. The restoration gave it new life, but also new questions. How much of the final image we see today is da Vinci, and how much is the restorer? Some critics call it a Frankenstein painting, a mixture of Renaissance genius and modern invention. If true, then the $450 million price was based on illusion as much as history. The secrecy around the painting's location also creates problems for scholarship. If Salvator Mundi is hidden, experts cannot study it, test it, or verify its origins. The mystery only grows deeper with time. Meanwhile, the Mona Lisa continues to attract millions in Paris, while its supposed sibling, the savior of the world, remains locked away in silence. There is also a symbolic angle. Salvator Mundi was painted to represent Christ as the ruler of the universe. In the modern world, it has become a symbol of money ruling everything, a sacred image transformed into the ultimate luxury trophy. Some see this as fitting irony. Others see it as tragedy, proof that even art has become another battlefield for wealth and power. So why did a Saudi prince pay $450 million for Salvator Mundi? Perhaps it was ambition, buying culture to legitimize Saudi Arabia on the world stage. Perhaps it was rivalry, a way to outshine neighbors and enemies. Or perhaps it was simply ego, the desire to own the most expensive painting in history. But whatever the reason, the purchase has backfired. Instead of glory, the painting has brought controversy. Instead of prestige, it has raised doubts. And instead of shining in a museum, it has vanished, leaving behind only speculation. Another possibility is geopolitical leverage. In a time of global instability, having a secure and hidden base gives any billionaire an unusual advantage. Imagine negotiations during a global crisis while governments scramble above ground. Zuckerberg could conduct meetings in a fully protected environment with encrypted communication systems, far from prying eyes. Such a position does not just ensure his survival, it grants him influence. In a fractured world, the one who can offer sanctuary to leaders, innovators, or key allies becomes a silent power broker, capable of shaping decisions that affect entire nations. And then comes the ethical dimension. If these tunnels are truly designed as private sanctuaries, it raises a haunting question: who gets in and who gets left out? Survival, in this case, becomes an exclusive club where entry is determined not by need, but by wealth, loyalty, or usefulness. This transforms disaster into a filter for inequality on the deepest level. For every person protected underground, thousands remain exposed above. It is not just a story about Zuckerberg. It is about how technology, wealth, and secrecy could divide humanity when it matters most. But maybe the greatest mystery of Salvator Mundi is not whether Leonardo painted it, but why the truth no longer seems to matter. Because in the world of billion-dollar art, authenticity often takes second place to power. The painting's value was never only in its brushstrokes, it was in the story carefully built around it. The lost Leonardo rediscovered, the sacred image restored, the masterpiece unveiled. That narrative turned canvas into currency, faith into fortune. Whether the painting is real or fake, genius or imitation, its legend has already done the work. And that is what makes Salvator Mundi more dangerous than any forgery. It proves that in the highest circles of wealth and politics, perception is more valuable than reality. And here lies the haunting legacy of Salvator Mundi. It no longer belongs to the world, but to secrecy. A painting once meant to inspire faith now inspires suspicion. Its disappearance strips it of the very purpose of art, to be seen, debated, and felt by people. Instead, it is locked away as an asset, a bargaining chip, or perhaps even a liability. Whether real or fake, masterpiece or forgery, Salvator Mundi has become the ultimate mirror, reflecting not Leonardo's vision, but our own age of wealth, power, and hidden truths. And until it resurfaces, its silence may be the loudest statement of all. The dark secret of Salvator Mundi is that its story is more valuable than its paint. It is a mystery wrapped in money, politics, and secrecy. It may be da Vinci, or it may not. It may be displayed one day, or it may never be seen again. But one fact is certain: the $450 million price tag ensured that Salvator Mundi will remain one of the most talked about, debated, and controversial artworks of all time. Art is supposed to inspire, to reveal truth, and to connect us with beauty. Yet the story of Salvator Mundi reminds us that art can also be corrupted by greed and power. The savior of the world became the prisoner of billionaires. And that is the true tragedy of the most expensive painting in history.